What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing fantastic out there. So today we have another pair of premium Kizers for you today. So these are what I consider some mighty minis. These are some smaller blades. Well, not smaller. They're 3-inch blades, but they seem to punch way above their blade length, at least in cutting power, in my opinion. Anyway, so I've already got these guys unboxed, so I'm not going to make y'all sit through that. Y'all know what Kizers come with by now. So the first one we're going to take a look at is the Kizer October. This is the 20 CV. There you can see the 2.9 inch. So we will crack right into this one. So this is one that's been around for a while. Both of these have, actually. They're not new knives. You can pick them up right now for super amazing deals. If while they last, I don't know if these are discontinued, if they won't be back around or what. But this one is one that I've been wanting to take a look at for quite a while. So we'll crack right on this. So you have the very large brass pivot ring or pivot collar, and then a ton of milling on the titanium scales here. Just an absolutely awesome kind of, almost geometric pattern there. It's really cool. It is a not lefty friendly. You do only have the 2 screws, so you have the pivot and the main body screw. Open pillar construction. There you can see you have a standoff there that is not a screwed standoff. Then you have the one from the body screw. And then there you have your T8 pivot, and it looks like it is T8 body screws as well. Then your T6 is on your lock bar insert and your pocket clip. It is an inset pocket clip into the titanium flat screws. Fantastic job there. It is fairly deep carry. You can see you got a little bit of leftover once it gets in the pocket. But again, that same really interesting milling pattern. You got your 3 relief cuts there. Pocket clip is pretty doggone good, and I do believe that is a titanium pocket clip as well. It's got that same kind of a gray finish as the rest of the titanium does. Alright, let's go ahead and let's look at the flipper here. So you do have a minimum flipper with just 3 jumps, but that is all you need because it brings it right out to the edge there. And that last one is what really grabs the skin. And taking a look at your blade, let me go ahead and clean this blade off a little bit here. Bear with me. So yeah, this is one, they are currently on sale as I'm doing this video. Again, I apologize if they're not available any longer after this or whatever. Hopefully you can pick one up on the secondary. But these are currently on sale for like $85 on Amazon. So considering this was a $200 knife at one point, it's pretty insane. So there you have the black stonewash with a full-length fuller, 20 CV, and there is your sheep's foot blade. You've got your belly there, and really nice sheep foot. You got a little cutout here. It is a 3/4 height flat, or 3/4 height flat grind. Got a really nice finger choil there. So your jimping runs the entire length all the way out to your blade hole. And there you have your designer logo, the model number, and the model name. Take a look at our grind. Looks fantastic there. Really easy to see this grind on these blades. So another really great grind there. Our tip is going to be spot on, and if I can get it to focus. There you go. You can see that. Your tip is perfect. Fantastic little knife. Again, this is something because of having a fairly beefy blade. I think this knife really punches above its weight class as far as the cutting power and cutting performance. Ergonomics are great on it. Your jimping is really well done. It runs out just far enough to grab your thumb there. Pinch grip, you've got this divot where your pinch grip just fits pretty well. You choke up, and your regular grip is really good. Your choke up grip is even more comfortable. Depending on the size of your hand and how you want to hold the knife, if you're down here, you do kind of hang off, but because it's nice and rounded there, you've got plenty to hold on to. You do feel the pocket clip a little bit in this grip, but in the choked up grip, you really don't feel the pocket clip at all. Either way it goes, it's not a very aggressive pocket clip. Like I said, what you feel is just this corner right here, just this edge, is all you feel. Again, frame lock. You do have a flipper for deployment, and then you have the thumb slot here, which because I can't really get my hand in there, I can kind of double, I can't even get it out with double like that, but you can reverse flick it. I can't do anything with the thumb on that one, but that's probably just me. But the reverse flick is pretty good. It's one that you can't think too much about. You just kind of got to get it on your, get it to where it just grabs the meat of your finger there. Because if you go in too deep, you'll hit the lock bar and you'll just lock the knife down. So as long as you're not really thinking about there, you see it actually surprised me because I wasn't expecting to flick it out. But it's not the best for reverse flick, at least for me. But it is certainly doable. Like I said, as long as I just don't really think about it, I can do it. But the flipper action is really nice. And having that low profile flipper, it just kind of reminds me of my Veros, which is kind of, I think, a lot of the reason why I really like it, because I do like the minimum flippers there. Great little knife. Should be pretty doggone sharp right out the box. Let's go ahead and give it a try on the... Oh yeah, it's typical Kizer. Super sharp right out of the box. I know paper cuts don't really say a whole lot, but that says enough for me to know that it's sharp enough for me right out of the box. 20 CV is a great steel, especially when it's done right. Kizer does it right. Don't have any problems with that. They run their 20 CV pretty good. Action on this thing is pretty decent right out of the box. The detent's timed perfectly, so like you literally, like as soon as it crosses in, so your detent catches right there. That's where your detent's at. So it's done very well. It's a very early detent. So, I'm trying to show you guys. That's it right there. So that's all the blade has to move. All right there. That's all the blade has to move to be up on the detent. From there, it can just fall shut. So, just absolutely fantastic job on that. Great design. The only thing I would really change about this knife would be to be a thumb stud knife, perhaps. I don't know. It might take away from the aesthetics of the knife, but I think the thumb studs would allow it to be a little better action even for reverse flicking. But like I said, as long as you don't think about it, man, you're able to do it. But the second you start really thinking about it, it falls out, and it's probably something I'll get used to. This is really legitimately my first time playing with the knife, so kind of impressed right out of the box. So it's one I've wanted for a little while. That one's a winner in my books. And now we're going to go on to one that you guys have probably already seen. I did a unboxing on it previously, and also unboxed its bigger brother. So this is the Minitherium from Kizer and the mind of Elijah Isham. Yeah, not much of a spoiler alert, but I absolutely love this knife. I love the design. It's just one of those designs that just doesn't look like it would work, but it does. Even though the bigger brother, even though it wasn't, after getting one in hand and really getting to play with it, it wasn't for me, just because it was a little too big. But this one is perfect for me. And it just so happens that the bigger one was perfect for my son. So we'll go ahead and crack into this one. So just like with its bigger brother, you've got the same flipper design, no jimping, just an upswept flipper there, and a ton of milling on the scale, just some contours and some just kind of off cuts and stuff like that. So this is a bias cut, carbon fiber, or end cut, whatever you want to call it. Just a beautiful, beautiful handle material, if you ask me. There you can see your screw design. So one of the big things that changes with this is instead of standoffs, you do have a backspacer. So this has a full length titanium backspacer, anodized beautiful blue. And there you can kind of see that layers of that carbon fiber. The other side here, you've got your other side of your pivot screw, that beautiful blue pocket clip, which works fantastic. I've carried this already. Looks like you've got T6 and T8 hardware. Now this is an inset liner lock, as you can see, perfectly centered. No jimping whatsoever on the blade. So here on the blade you've got the S35, which again is one of my favorite steels, Kizer logo, model number, and then as on the other one you have the Minitherium here instead of Megatherium, and then Isham's design logo. Let me go ahead and wipe this blade off real quick. And then, of course, you have that gorgeous stone wash from Kizer. Taking a look at the blade grind, it is phenomenal. No issues there. Absolutely perfect blade grind, and tip is perfectly centered. And there you can see the only jimping on the knife, I guess you can say, is right there. But that is an inset liner lock, which, again, as you guys have heard and know, that is one of my favorite lock designs. So aesthetically, it looks exactly the same as the Megatherium. It is just a shorter version, smaller version, which works really well for my hands. I can actually reverse flick this one without any issues, and I just bit myself. Always keep a Band-Aid handy, so give me just a second, guys. I'm going to put a Band-Aid on. All right, so yeah, so that's what happens when you're looking at the camera and not at the knife. I went to go choke up, and when I did, I just kind of grabbed the blade there a little bit, and it didn't take much because this son of a bitch is sharp. Kizer knows how to sharpen a knife. So as I was saying, the ergonomics on this knife are way better for me than the large one. My hand fits better on it. Even in the choke down point, it is a little bit better grip for me. You do have to be, as you just seen, really careful when you go to choke up that you're not grabbing a hold of the blade itself. But in the choke up position, it feels really great in the hand. Again, I have no issues with the ergonomics of this knife whatsoever. I do wish that there was a little bit of jimping up here, but that's more of a nitpick than anything. Being the liner lock version, you don't have any of the the typical hot spots that come with the frame lock, so no issues there. The action is phenomenal. I mean, just absolutely perfect for this guy. Just, it's just, it's going to be more difficult now with a Band-Aid on my finger, but it just works really well. The detent's tuned perfectly on this knife. It's one that, like I said, this is one that I've wanted in my collection for a very long time, and recently have been able to add both it and its bigger brother to the collection. So very pleased with that, and that's thanks to Kizer doing the fantastic sale that they've been doing. So thank you to Kizer for that, and not that it needs it, because we just seen how easily it sliced through my finger, but it is insanely sharp. It just wants to cut. That's where I was talking about, just knives that just cut above their weight class. I'm really impressed with the cutting power and performance from both of these knives. Edge angles are cut perfectly. The grinds are done very well. Both have really high flat grinds, which work well. This one, as with the Mega, there's not a ton of room for sharpening. You do have a fairly small sharpening choil, so you can see there it's a fairly small sharpening choil. But it's not a perfect knife, but I do really enjoy it. So the weight on this guy, the Mini, is substantially less. So this is one of those perfect 1-to-1 knives. So it's a 3-ounce knife with a 3-inch blade. Well, it's a 2.95-inch blade, but let's be serious, it's a 3-inch blade. And then the October is a little bit heavier, being that it is titanium instead of carbon fiber. So we're at 4.3 ounces there with a 3-inch blade. So again, a really great set of premium Kizers that you may not be able to get for very much longer, if at all. So if you see them, especially right now while they're currently on sale, like I said, I think if they still have any in stock, you can get this guy for like $87 bucks on Amazon. I know on Kizer's website, this is $99. So fantastic pickups all around. You guys will not be disappointed with them. So this one, October's been around forever. So has this. This has been on a lot of people's radars. So definitely jump on them. Again, guys, I appreciate y'all. So please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. But as always, the most important thing to me is that you be kind, be humble, be EDC. Take care.